What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're on my next project, and this is a 2-for-1. Basically what I'm doing, or what this is built for. For one, this is actually a appreciation build that I'm doing for old Tom, member 69. So basically build anything that Tom likes, and I'll leave a link to his channel down below. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him. He's an amazing person and a phenomenal builder. I mean, he builds anything too, but hot rods is mostly his main thing. But he does like Le Mans cars, dragsters, and he does some Broncos, and he does some awful vehicles here and there. But mostly hot rods are his thing. So that's what we're doing for him, for appreciation of him. And also, this is a theme for N.Y.S next year. Rods and Customs and 49 Merc, for 75 years of 49 Merc. So very cool. So this is basically a twofer that I'm doing for this build. So let's go ahead and show you what we're doing. So this is the 1932 Ford sedan, chopped, obviously, and basically majority of this kit is 3D printed because I'm doing this as a nice, very lowered, low boy stance on this body, or this car version, obviously. So basically, to do that, you can use the Revell 32 Ford sedan, or you could use the Model A Roadster kit from 29 Model A Roadster or 34 Model A Coupe. You could use those chassis as donors, but for me, I'm going to be doing a lot of 3D printing, and let's just dive into what we're doing. So I have not started on about anything yet. I didn't clean up anything yet. I just literally took it out of the bags and just spread it out on my bench. That's basically all I did. So let's go ahead and start diving into this thing. So we will be using a Jimmy Flintstone body. So this is a 32 Ford sedan, obviously chopped sedan body from Jimmy Flintstone. This body is super clean. I got it at the N.Y.S show this year, actually. They were at the show. I think I got this body for like $5 or something like that. I think it's like $5, maybe cheaper. It was just tossed in the bin, said $5, whatever. Find what you want and take it. So very cool. So Jimmy Flintstone, they're well known for resin bodies. They deal with characters and all that fun stuff, but their bodies are very phenomenal, and they make amazing molds. So with Jimmy Flintstone, you just kind of have to get kind of lucky with their bodies, because sometimes the bodies might have a little bit of extra resin, like peeking through here or peeking up here. This is my second Jimmy Flintstone body that I'm dealing with. The first one was the 32 5-window coupe, I believe it was, and that one kind of had some mold issues, so I do a lot of cleanup on this one, but this one's very clean. Basically, the only cleanup you have to do is on this one, that I have to do at least, is down here, and then obviously just cut these out. These are literally just you just break them through. Just get like a blade and just cut around it, and you're good to go. So as you can see, so very low flash. Then this is rough down here, so we'll probably get a grinder down there, or not grinder, but a sanding disc in there and get that smoothed out. But overall, the body on this one is very clean, so very little cleanup I have to do on this one. I will have to be cutting out the firewall a bit more, because I am putting in a thicker transmission, and I will be lowering this, and that means the transmission is going to be up higher. So we'll get that lowered or cut out. Then that's probably the only trimming I have to do, actually, except the roof, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, body very clean, and we'll get started on that very shortly. Speaking of roof, let's just dive into that. I will be doing a roof cutout. So this is the frame, and this is like the curtain that goes back here, just kind of hangs back like it's open, obviously. And then there is a handle. So here's the hole for the handle, and then there's the the handle right there. So very cool. That will be doing black, the roof part, and this will probably do like black for the paint scheme I'm thinking of. But this is my template. We'll be putting this up here. I gotta do some measuring, get it exactly in the middle. Then we'll put some tape down. Tape will be my measurement, and scribing, utensil until I get the panel lines scribed out enough. Then we'll get this cut out. So basically, on how to cut out basically a roof or a door, you just use a basic scriber. In this case, for me, I love the my panel line scriber. You can use a backup electric blade, but the Tamiya one. This one, it works the fastest and it works for me the best. So that's what we'll be using to cut out the roof, and the roof is kind of thick. Yeah, so it's going to take some time, but we'll get through it. And just don't, you know, obviously don't rush it, because if you rush it, you're going to screw up, and yeah, rip. Okay, some parts from Miguel over at Hobbyworks. Miguel, I did my entry video on the Thomas build a few months ago, and then I think Miguel watched my video and he sent me some files, well, actually a whole file. He has a full 3D printed 32 Ford sedan you can do from him. Body, everything's all 3D printed from him. So he sent me the whole file, but instead I'm not going to be using his whole kit. I just took some files from his file profile, and I will just be, you know, using those. So from him, we'll be using a floor. This floor has a huge tunnel for the transmission and drive shaft. So that's a huge benefit, because this is how you're basically going to lower the whole car. If you look up some real pictures of the actual sedans chopped like this and how they roll like that, literally the transmission is like inside the you know, the interior floor. So it's basically like in here, and in this case it is, if you look how this one is, it's literally flat, like flat inside, and yeah, transmission's really sunk in there. So yeah, so this is gonna be really cool. So this is one of the main things you have to do to actually get this thing lowered into the weeds. So we'll be using the floor from Miguel. Got a steering wheel from Miguel. This is a flat bottom steering wheel, pretty cool. So I figured, you know what, I'll use that. And then we'll be using his grill. It's a two-piece grill, so you get the main body right here, so you can pick this chrome or body color. For me, I'll probably do body color. And then you got a separate grill here. I did have to do some cleanup. Like I said, I didn't do any cleanup on this, so excuse the mess. But it's an open grill, and this will probably be doing black for the way I'm gonna take this build, which I'll show you the paint scheme and stuff I might do to it. The kit, the parts I'll be robbing from the parts box from the 29 and 30 Ford from Avell. I do have some headlights. These are the large headlights. Those kits come with small, medium, and large headlights, but for this one we'll be using the large headlights, and then we got the lens right here. So those we'll be using from the 29 and 30 Ford. I do have an extra steering, because this, you know, those kits come with extra transmissions, not transmissions, but frames. So each frame comes with a steering, so we'll be using a steering from that. And then of course a drive shaft. Again, different drive shafts, because there's two different engines in there. So they're different lengths, so two drive shafts. And then for me, for some reason I have a leftover gas tank, so we'll probably put in a gas tank in that. So very cool. So those are basically the only parts we'll be using from the 29. Except the taillights. I do have a set of taillights here, so I'm not sure we're using these ones, or I'll probably just use the chrome ones and just paint them in clear red. So we'll be using those. These are pretty cool. So those are the only parts we'll be using from those kits. Everything else is literally 3D printed. The seats, we'll be using nice cushion seats. I'm thinking of using bomber seats. Who knows? Maybe I'll use some bomber seats, but these seats are pretty cushiony, and I don't want to use like hardcore bomber seats. I kind of want to do make this like a, you know, it's like kind of like a daily driver, but you're not daily driving this thing, because it's not really meant for it. Because it's kind of like a death trap if you're driving this thing on the road. It's mainly these hot rods, or these things are mainly made to go to shows. If they go to shows, people are putting them on trailers and they're driving them with a normal, you know, generic modern truck, because these things are really death traps, because they're so low, and if you get in an accident, yeah, you're not gonna be in too good of shape. So here's the transmission we'll be using. So very cool, we got that. And then this is the engine. We'll be using the actual true Ford engine. This is a Ford Y block. Instead of the V8 block or small block, it's called a Y block. So very cool. So we'll be using a true Ford engine for this one. So look at cool. Exhaust, we'll be using, of course, the exit exhaust. So we got those. These we might be using the large ones. These are the large ones, or the file did come with smaller ones, but smaller ones are pretty cool. But I might use these large ones, but we'll see which ones look the best. oil pan, you know, all that fun stuff. Basically got the hot rod package because the guy who sells this engine, he has like a hot rod package, so which means the oil pan is, you know, has slots in them like these hot rods kind of have. The valve covers again have slots, and then the on top of the engine, the intake goes on top, that's slotted. So very cool. So we'll be using the actual true hot rod engine. And then chassis, this is the chassis we're using. Very cool. Has holes on it. That's a cool look. So the interior will be going on top of here, and probably love it with that, or up here more. I will be doing like a tunnel, so I will be adding some styrene sheets up here and then meeting up here because I don't want this be, you know, visible through the interior. So probably just make this like a flat bottom and like put some magazines up there or something. We'll put some, you know, flocking carpet on there. So that's the chassis, and the drive shaft will go through there, and then the axle will meet up to here. And speaking of axle, this is the axle we got. It's a 4-link axle, so that will run up to that, and then, you know, the 4 links will meet up to here. Then we got some springs, all that fun stuff. So we got that. The front axle, we got the matching slotted holes front axle for the steering. So we got all that, and all this, you know, braces and bracing, all that fun stuff. Door handles, we will be using a slotted door, you know, hold door handles. So we got those to, you know, kind of match the theme of the chassis. Brakes, we do got some drum brakes going on here. Very cool. So we got all 4 of those. And then the wheels, these are the wheel package we're using. So these are the small ones, this is the large one. I call these bicycle wheels. I forgot the name, the actual name for these wheels, but these are, I call them bicycle wheels because they look like bicycle wheels. Super detailed, meaning by super detailed, they do have the valve stem right there for the air to go in. So that's pretty cool. So very detailed. So those will do black. And then here are the tires. So very cool. So this is the back tire, and this is the front one. And we'll show you the difference. The front ones are just a tad bit smaller. Not by much, but the back ones are just a tad bit bigger. I do want them to be the same width. I don't want the fat back ones or anything like that. I just want them taller. So that's the look we're doing. And then I do have one mock-up, and here is how it looks. Very cool. And oh yeah, and also thing I might have to probably just cut like a little notch up here, somewhere in here, for the axle to go through, because yeah, it's being lowered, the axle is going to be poking up here. And then the wheel, I'm hoping the wheel will be up to at least right there. So very cool. This is going to be a really cool build, and definitely going to be going all out on this build because, well, for Tom, he's my very first subscriber on my channel. And also, this is going to be going to N.Y.S, really one of the biggest shows out there in America. There was, I think this year they had over 1,400 models. So next year will probably be bigger. So that's it for that. Aftermarket parts. We do got some aftermarket parts for the engine. We got a parts by Parks belt and pulley set, aluminum pulleys. So the kit did come in these, which are pretty nice, but I figured since this engine is very visible, you might as well detail it. So we got, yeah, parts by Parks pulley set. For the intake, at Fulton Show last weekend, Model Master was there. I did not know Model Master was based in New York, and I got tons of parts. Just in case you're wondering, here is their card, and they are indeed New York. So very cool. So they had tons of stuff there. I spent like $75 there. I mean, so we got these for the intake on the engine. We'll be using 3 of them. I'll be doing a 3 intake thing, jogger. So we 3 of these. The smaller ones, these things are very hard to find. I think they're just selling out like crazy because they're super popular. Because before N.Y.S, I did have these large ones, and I did not want those, so I had no choice, so I cut them. but since they were there and they had these smaller ones, I went ahead and bought 3 or 4. I bought 4 of these because there's one guy on eBay selling these for like $20, and they were there and they were selling these for 12. So very cool, and they're full aluminum. So we got that. We got some hose connectors. These are very cool. I did not know Model Master did these. So those are for like the radiator or something like that. So we got some hose connectors. We'll probably be doing a gas tank, cap. So we got aluminum gas tank cap. Very cool. And then of course we'll be using some braided line for the radiator and stuff. So we got all that. So we'll be using some aftermarket parts. We'll probably be putting in some seat belts and all that fun stuff. But that's basically about it. I just want to do a breakdown on this, show you what is on this kit that I'm be doing. It's very cool, and yeah, basically 90% of the build is 3D printed. Jimmy Flintstone body and some parts from the 29 and 30 Ford kits from Avell. And here is the intake things we'll be using. So that's the tip of it right there. And here's the actual intake. This one's meant to have 2, but I've seen these with 3. So we'll probably just sand those nicks down and then we'll get these on there. So we'll do the 3 intakes right there. So very cool. And then yeah, so there's that. So alright guys, that's it for this build. I'm looking forward to it. Subscribe if you're new because you don't want to miss this. This might possibly, probably my last build of the year because it's super intense and a lot of measuring and cutting and kind of figure out where things go. It's basically all scratch built for this build. So Tom, I can't wait for you to see this at the end. And when we go to Acme, probably I'm not sure about that next year, but probably a year after. I think every 2 years or every 3 years is good. So you will definitely be seeing this one of these years, Tom, and I can't wait for you to see this in person. Color, I haven't decided on the color, but I will tell you, it might be a candy color. It will be a candy color because I want this thing to be popped out like crazy. So I will be doing a candy color, but stay tuned to the channel when I get this thing mocked up and for my second update, then I'll tell you the color. But alright guys, that's it for this video, and until my next video, I'll catch you on next time. Take it easy.